The cargo ship Liberty's Dawn moved through the empty darkness of space. Captain Jack Morrison sat in his command chair and watched the stars drift past the main window. The ship was old but strong. Its gray metal hull had many small dents and scratches from years of service. "Captain, we're entering the Kelvar system," said Lieutenant Amy Rodriguez from her station. She was young, only 28, but her dark eyes missed nothing on her screens. Jack nodded. "Keep our speed steady. We need to reach Colony 7 in 4 days." The Liberty's Dawn carried medicine that would save thousands of lives. The colony had sent a desperate message 2 weeks ago. A new disease was spreading fast. Without the medicine in their cargo hold, people would die. "How are the engines?" Jack asked. Chief Engineer Carl Peterson's gruff voice came through the speaker. "Running smooth, Captain. This old girl has plenty of life left in her." Carl was 60 years old and had gray hair. He knew every pipe, wire, and bolt in the ship. Jack trusted him completely. Dr. Lisa Chang entered the bridge. She was the ship's doctor and scientist. "I've checked the medical supplies again. Everything is secure and at the right temperature." "Good," Jack said. He looked at his crew. They were good people. What they didn't know was that each of them had secrets. Jack had chosen them carefully. The Kelvar system was dangerous. It sat between human space and Krellian territory. The Krellians were aliens who survived by stealing from others. They had 4 arms, gray skin, and no mercy. Most cargo ships traveled in groups here for safety. But Colony 7 couldn't wait for a convoy. "Captain," Amy said suddenly, "I'm reading something on long-range sensors." Jack leaned forward. "What is it?" 6 ships. Moving fast. They're coming from behind that moon." Jack's jaw tightened. "Can you identify them?" Amy's fingers flew over her controls. "Krellian raiders. Viper-class attack ships." The bridge went quiet. Everyone knew what this meant. Krellian pirates didn't take prisoners. They killed crews and stole everything. "How long until they reach us?" Jack asked calmly. "At their current speed, 20 minutes. Jack stood up. "Send a distress signal. Then cut it off after 10 seconds. Amy looked confused, but obeyed. Signal sent and terminated. "Carl," Jack said into the comm. "We might need everything she's got." "Understood, Captain. I'll warm up the special systems." Dr. Chang moved closer to Jack. "Should I prepare the medical bay for casualties?" "Yes, but also review your files on Krellian physiology. We might need to know their weak points." She nodded and left quickly. Jack turned to Amy. "Plot a course for the asteroid field in Sector 7. Captain, that field is dangerous. One mistake and we could hit a rock." "I know." "Do it." The Liberty's Dawn changed direction. The old ship's engines hummed louder as they pushed harder. Behind them, the 6 Krellian ships spread out like hunters chasing prey. Jack activated the ship's communication system. "All hands, this is the captain. We have 6 Krellian raiders approaching. Everyone to emergency stations. This is not a drill." Throughout the ship, the small crew of 30 people moved quickly. They had practiced this many times. But practice was different from real danger. "Captain, they're trying to contact us," Amy said. "Put them through." The main screen flickered. A Krellian face appeared. The alien had 4 black eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. This was Commander Zareth, known across 3 systems as a killer. "Human ship," Zareth said. His voice sounded like grinding metal. "Stop your engines. Surrender and we might let some of you live." Jack stood straight. "This is Captain Morrison of the Liberty's Dawn. We're carrying medical supplies to save human lives." "Let us pass," Zareth laughed. It was an ugly sound. Humans so weak, so stupid. "You travel alone in dangerous space. Now you pay the price." "We're just a cargo ship," Jack said. "Yes, full of valuable cargo. And humans make good slaves. Some species pay well for human workers. You will stop now or we will stop you." Jack cut the connection. "Amy, how long to the asteroid field?" 8 minutes. "And the Krellians?" "They're gaining. They'll catch us in 6 minutes." Jack sat back in his chair. "Then they'll catch us." Amy turned to stare at him. "Captain?" "Trust me." "Carl, status on those special modifications?" "Ready when you are, Captain. Just say the word." The Liberty's Dawn flew on. The crew watched their screens as the Krellian ships got closer. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. 2 minutes. "They're charging weapons," Amy reported. Her voice stayed steady, but her hand shook slightly. "Let them," Jack said. 1 minute. The first Krellian shots flew past the Liberty's Dawn. Warning shots. The next ones would hit. "Entering the asteroid field," Amy announced. Huge rocks floated in space around them. Some were as big as mountains, others were small as houses. The Liberty's dawn weaved between them. "They're following us in," Amy said. Jack smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "Good. Amy, have you been running those calculations I asked for?" "Yes, Captain. I know the path of every rock bigger than our ship. And Carl, those mining charges we picked up at Station 9, already attached to 6 asteroids just like you ordered. Remote detonators ready." Amy's eyes widened. "Captain, mining charges aren't weapons." "No," Jack agreed. "But explosions are explosions. And rocks moving at high speed hit just as hard as missiles." The Krellian ships entered the asteroid field. They flew in perfect formation, confident in their skills. They had done this many times before. Humans always ran. Humans always died. "Captain, they're surrounding us," Amy said. 2 above, 2 on each side. Perfect. Carl, remember that trick you showed me? About overcharging the navigation shields? The one that turns them into battering rams? That's dangerous, Captain. Could burn out our whole system. But it would work. For maybe 10 minutes. Then we'd have no shields at all. 10 minutes is all we need. "Lisa, are you ready?" The doctor's voice came through clear. "Medical bay prepared. I've also found something interesting in the Krellian files. Their eyes don't adjust well to sudden bright light. Useful. Everyone hold on. Amy, on my mark, full reverse thrust and activate all external lights at maximum power." The Krellian ships closed in. Zareth's voice came through the comm again. "Last chance, humans. Surrender or die." Jack looked at his crew. Amy's jaw was set with determination. Through the monitors, he could see Carl's team ready at their posts. These weren't just cargo haulers. Each had been chosen for their skills and their secrets. "Commander Zareth," Jack said calmly, "you made one mistake." "What mistake, human?" "You thought we were prey." Jack turned to Amy. "Mark, the Liberty's dawn suddenly reversed thrust. The Krellian ships, not expecting this, overshot their positions. At the same moment, every external light on the human ship blazed to life. The asteroid field lit up like daylight. The Krellians, with their sensitive eyes, were blinded. "Carl now," Jack ordered. 6 explosions rocked the asteroid field. The mining charges detonated perfectly. Huge rocks began moving in new directions, fast and deadly. One Krellian ship, its pilot blinded, flew straight into a spinning asteroid. The crash was violent. The ship exploded in a ball of fire and metal. "1 down," Amy reported. 5 to go. Jack gripped his chair. The real fight was just beginning. The Liberty's dawn had shown its teeth. Now they would see if those teeth were sharp enough. The remaining Krellian ships recovered quickly. They were professional killers after all. But now they were angry. And angry enemies made mistakes. "Take us deeper into the field," Jack ordered. "Time to show them what humans really are." The Liberty's dawn drifted through the debris field. Pieces of Krellian ships floated past like metal snow. The crew worked quietly, repairing damage and checking systems. Jack stood on the bridge, studying the tactical display. They had won the first round, but he knew better than to relax. "Amy, any signs of pursuit?" "Negative, Captain. The 2 ships that escaped are still running, but..." She paused, frowning at her screen. "What is it?" "I'm detecting communication signals. Encrypted, but definitely Krellian. They're calling for help." Jack's jaw tightened. "How many responses?" "At least 3. No, make that 4. They're coming from different directions." Carl's voice crackled through the comm. "Captain, we've got bigger problems. That spin move damaged our main power coupling. I can fix it, but I need an hour." "We don't have an hour," Jack said. "How long can we run at full speed?" "Maybe 30 minutes before something breaks. After that, we'll be dead in space." Dr. Chang spoke up from her station. "Captain, I've been analyzing our combat performance. The crew's reaction times were 12% faster than normal human baseline. Their decision-making under stress was exceptional." "Adrenaline does that," Jack said simply. "No, Captain. This was different. It's like they've all had combat training." "Advanced combat training," Jack turned to face her. "Doctor, what are you suggesting?" "I'm suggesting that a random cargo crew doesn't fight like special forces. Unless they're not random at all." Before Jack could respond, Amy interrupted. "Captain, I'm picking up something else. A large mass shadow moving this way. It's big. Really big. How big?" "Krellian battlecruiser, Dragon class. It's the Bone Crusher, Commander Zareth's clan ship." The bridge went silent. Everyone knew what a Dragon class meant. It was 10 times their size with enough firepower to crack a moon. "Time to intercept?" Jack asked quietly. At their current speed, 45 minutes, Jack activated the ship-wide comm. All hands, this is the captain. We have a Krellian battlecruiser incoming. I won't lie to you. It's bigger and stronger than us. But size isn't everything. We've proven that today. He paused, choosing his words carefully. I know some of you have backgrounds you don't talk about. Skills you've kept hidden. Now's the time to use them. Every trick, every piece of knowledge, every instinct you've buried. We need it all. Throughout the ship, the crew exchanged glances. Slowly, faces changed. The mask of simple cargo haulers fell away. Carl, Jack continued, I need miracles from engineering. You'll get them, Captain. Peterson's got a few tricks left. Amy, plot multiple escape routes. But also, Jack smiled coldly, calculate attack vectors. Attack vectors? Against a battlecruiser? David beat Goliath, Lieutenant. We just need the right stones. Dr. Chang moved closer. Captain, there's something I should tell you. Before I was a ship's doctor, I worked in bioweapons defense. I know things about Krellian physiology that aren't in any public database, such as their clan ships use a specific air mixture. Too much oxygen makes them aggressive but also reckless. Too little makes them sluggish. If we could somehow affect their life support. Interesting. Keep thinking. Amy, what's the smallest object our mining laser can cut precisely? Amy ran calculations. About 10 centimeters at maximum range. Why? Because a 10-centimeter hole in the right place can kill a ship as surely as a torpedo. Show me the Bone Crusher's specifications. A hologram appeared showing the massive Krellian vessel. It was shaped like a predator, all weapons and armor. There, Jack pointed. Those intake ports for their secondary cooling system. If those get blocked, their weapons would overheat after extended firing, Amy finished. But Captain, we'd have to get close. Suicide close. Then we make them come to us. Carl, those cargo containers we rigged. Can you make them look like escape pods on sensors? Carl laughed. Already ahead of you, Captain. I can make them read as life signs, too. Fake distress beacons, the works. Do it. Lisa, what else can you tell us about Krellians? The doctor pulled up her private files. Their clan structure is everything. The Bone Crusher isn't just a ship, it's their home. Hundreds of families live aboard. If the clan leader dies, they must return home immediately for succession rituals. Who leads the Bone Crusher? Matriarch Kelash. She's Zareth's mother. Jack nodded slowly. She'll want revenge for her son. That makes her emotional. Emotional enemies make mistakes. The Liberty's Dawn pushed forward, limping but determined. Carl's team worked frantically in engineering, patching systems, and rerouting power. Captain, Amy called. The other Krellian ships are converging on the battlecruiser. They're forming an attack group. How many total? 7, including the 2 that ran. Plus the battlecruiser makes 8. 8 versus 1. The odds were impossible. But Jack had faced impossible before. Show me everything between us and Colony 7. Every asteroid, every dust cloud, every gravitational anomaly. The display filled with data. Jack studied it like a general planning a campaign. There, the maelstrom. Amy's eyes widened. Captain, that's a gravitational storm. Ships don't fly through that. Exactly. Ships don't. But we're not just any ship. Carl, can you reinforce our structural integrity? I can try. But Captain, the stress will be enormous. The Krellians won't follow us in. Their ships are too big, too rigid. But we're small and tough. Dr. Chang was running medical calculations. The gravitational forces will affect the crew. I'll need to administer muscle relaxants and cardiac stabilizers. Do it. Amy, I need you to calculate a path through the maelstrom. Not the safest path. The fastest. That's suicide. No, suicide is fighting 8 ships in open space. This is just insane. There's a difference. Amy began working. Her fingers flew over the controls, inputting data and running simulations. It's possible, barely. We'd have to ride the gravity wells like a surfer on waves. Can you do it? She straightened. Yes, I can do it. Good, because I have a feeling you've done something like this before. Haven't you, Lieutenant Rodriguez? Or should I say Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez, formerly of the Earth Defense Fleet? Amy froze. How did you know? The way you calculate trajectories. The way you anticipate enemy movements. No cargo officer thinks like that. Only someone who's plotted combat courses through asteroid fields during the Mars Rebellion. That's classified. Not to me. Jack turned to the others. Carl, or should I say Master Chief Peterson? 20 years in the fleet, specialist in field modifications and improvised weapons? Carl grunted. Retired is retired, Captain. And Dr. Chang, your bioweapons work was with the Special Operations Medical Corps, wasn't it? The unit that doesn't officially exist? Lisa nodded slowly. We all have our secrets. Yes, and I knew all of yours when I hired you. Because this ship, this crew, was never random. We're a wolf in sheep's clothing, and now it's time to show our teeth. The crew stood straighter. The pretense was gone. These weren't just cargo haulers. They were warriors, fighters, survivors. The Krellians think they're hunting a wounded merchant ship, Jack continued. They're about to learn why humans are the only species that practices persistence hunting. We don't give up. We don't stop. And we don't lose. Battle cruiser is accelerating, Amy reported. 30 minutes to intercept. Launch the fake escape pods. Make it look panicked. Carl, cut power to non-essential systems. Make us look hurt. 4 cargo containers launched, tumbling away from the Liberty's Dawn. To any sensor, they looked like desperate crew trying to escape. Krellian ships are breaking formation, Amy said. 3 moving to intercept the pod. Good, they're splitting up. Now everyone to combat stations. Real combat stations. Amy, take us toward the Maelstrom. Best speed we can manage. The Liberty's Dawn turned and ran, or appeared to run. Behind them, the Krellian fleet gave chase. The battlecruiser led, its massive bulk eating up the distance. They're taking the bait, Amy reported. Of course they are. They think we're scared. Carl, prepare everything. Every weapon, every trick, every dirty move you've ever learned. Already on it. You know, Captain, I've missed this. We all have, Jack admitted. But after today, I don't think we'll need to hide anymore. The edge of the Maelstrom appeared ahead. It looked like space itself was twisted, light bending in impossible ways. No sane captain would enter it. But Jack Morrison had stopped being sane the day pirates killed his family. The day he swore to make space safer for human ships, even if it meant becoming something the pirates would fear. 10 minutes to the Maelstrom, Amy announced. 10 minutes to show them what humans really are. Jack replied. All hands prepare for hell. The Liberty's Dawn shuddered as it approached the Maelstrom. Space itself seemed to twist and bend ahead of them. The gravitational forces pulled at the ship's hull, making metal groan. 5 minutes to entry, Amy called out. Her hands never stopped moving, calculating and recalculating their path. The Krellians are still following. They're firing long-range missiles. Let them waste ammunition, Jack said. The gravity wells will pull those missiles off course. Carl, how's our hull? Holding together with prayer and welding tape, Carl replied. But she'll make it. This old girl is tougher than she looks. The first missiles entered the Maelstrom's edge. They spun wildly off course, some crushing under the gravitational stress, others flying off into deep space. Matriarch Kelash is hailing us, Amy reported. Put her through. The main screen showed an ancient Krellian female. Her 4 eyes burned with hatred. Human ship. You killed my son. I will peel your hull apart and space your crew slowly. Your son attacked a ship carrying medicine for dying children, Jack replied calmly. He got what he deserved, Kelash snarled. Humans always crying about your weak offspring. Today you learn why the galaxy fears the Krellian clans. No, Jack said. Today you learn why humans survived on a death world. Why we're the only species that chases prey until it drops from exhaustion. We don't stop. Ever. He cut the connection. Entering the Maelstrom, Amy announced. The Liberty's Dawn plunged into the gravitational storm. Instantly everything went insane. The ship bucked and twisted. Gravity pulled from different directions every few seconds. Up became down, left became right. All hands brace for turbulence, Dr. Chang announced. She had already injected herself with stabilizers. Around the ship, crew members did the same. Behind them, the Krellian fleet hesitated at the Maelstrom's edge. The smaller ships pulled back immediately. They knew death when they saw it. But the Bone Crusher pushed forward. Matriarch Kelash's need for revenge overwhelmed caution. The battlecruiser is following us in. Amy shouted over the noise of straining metal. Good, Jack gritted out. The gravity was playing havoc with his inner ear, but he held firm. How many of the others? None, they're too smart. It's just us and the Bone Crusher now. The massive Krellian ship entered the Maelstrom. Immediately it began to struggle. Its size worked against it. Where the Liberty's Dawn could slip between the worst gravity wells, the battlecruiser had to push through them. Their shields are fluctuating, Amy reported. The gravitational shear is too much for their generators. Same problem here, Carl called. But I've got an idea. If I reverse the polarity on our shields and pulse them, we can ride the gravity waves instead of fighting them. Do it. The Liberty's Dawn's movement suddenly smoothed out. Not completely, but enough. They began to surf the gravitational currents like Carl had suggested. It's working, Amy exclaimed. We're actually gaining distance. But the Bone Crusher wasn't giving up. The massive ship fired its main guns. In normal space, those shots would have vaporized the Liberty's Dawn. But in the Maelstrom, the energy beams bent and curved, missing by kilometers. They can't hit us, Amy said. Amazed, but we can hit them, Jack said. Amy, calculate a shot with the mining laser. Use the gravity to curve the beam right into their cooling intake. That's impossible. The calculations alone would take hours. You have 2 minutes. Amy's face went pale, then determined. Her hands flew over her console. Numbers flashed across her screen faster than anyone could read. But Amy wasn't just anyone. She was one of Earth's best combat navigators pretending to be a cargo officer. Got it, she announced. Firing solution ready. But Captain, we only get 1 shot. The power drain will leave us defenseless for 30 seconds. Then make it count. Fire. The mining laser lanced out. In normal space, it would have traveled straight. But the Maelstrom's gravity caught it, bent it, twisted it into an impossible curve. The beam spiraled through space like a living thing, and struck exactly where Amy had aimed. The tiny beam, meant for cutting rocks, punched through the Bone Crusher's cooling intake. Such a small hole. But sometimes small things had big consequences. Direct hit, Amy yelled. Their cooling system is compromised. Now we run, Jack ordered. Pour everything into engines. Carl, I don't care if you have to burn out every circuit. Get us through this storm. The Liberty's Dawn surged forward. Behind them, the Bone Crusher tried to follow. But without proper cooling, their weapons began to overheat. They had to reduce firing or risk explosions. Captain, Dr. Chang called. I'm reading something odd. The Maelstrom is affecting their life support. The gravitational stress is causing microfractures in their air recycling system. How long before it becomes a problem? For humans, hours. For Krellians with their specific air mixture needs, maybe 20 minutes. Jack smiled grimly. Then we keep them here for 20 minutes. The chase continued through the twisted space. The Liberty's Dawn danced between gravity wells while the Bone Crusher smashed through them. It was like watching a hummingbird being chased by an eagle through a forest. The eagle was stronger, but the forest was the hummingbird's domain. Multiple system failures on the Bone Crusher, Amy reported. Their engines are struggling. Good, but not enough. We need them stopped, not slowed. Carl, remember those remaining cargo containers? Way ahead of you, Captain. Ready to drop on your mark. Wait for it. Amy, find me the worst gravity well in our path. She scanned ahead. There, dead ahead. It's a monster. The gravity gradient could tear a ship apart. Perfect. Take us right over it. Minimum safe distance, define safe. Whatever keeps us in one piece, barely. The Liberty's Dawn adjusted course. The gravity well loomed ahead, invisible but deadly. Space-time itself was twisted into a knot there. Approaching the well, Amy announced. The Bone Crusher is still following. They're trying to lock weapons. Let them try. Carl, release 1 container. Right into the well. The cargo container tumbled out, falling toward the gravity well. It began to accelerate faster and faster until it was moving at a significant fraction of light speed. Then it exploded. The explosion itself wasn't huge, but combined with the gravitational forces, it created something terrible. A wave of distorted space-time rippled outward. Gravity wave incoming, Amy screamed. All hands brace. The wave hit the Liberty's Dawn hard. The ship rolled completely over twice. Inside, crew members held on for their lives despite the drugs in their systems. But they survived. The Bone Crusher wasn't so lucky. The wave hit the massive ship broadside. Already weakened by their passage through the Maelstrom, their shields collapsed completely. Hull plates buckled. Entire sections decompressed. They're venting atmosphere, Amy reported. Multiple hull breaches. They're dead in space, but Jack wasn't celebrating. Any life signs? Thousands. They're sealing off sections but without main power. They'll die slowly, Dr. Chang said quietly. The Maelstrom will tear them apart piece by piece. Jack was quiet for a moment. The Krellians were pirates, killers. They had attacked his ship, threatened his crew. But dying slowly in the Maelstrom. Amy, can we send them a navigation beacon? Show them the safe path out? Amy turned to stare at him. Captain, they tried to kill us, and we beat them. The battle's over. Carl, launch a beacon with the safe route programmed in. If they're smart, they'll follow it out. And if they're not smart, then they die. But not because we didn't give them a chance. Carl grumbled but launched the beacon. It shot toward the crippled battlecruiser, broadcasting the safe path clearly. You think they'll take it? Amy asked. I think Matriarch Kalash has a choice. Save her clan or die for revenge. Let's see how smart she really is. The Liberty's dawn continued through the maelstrom. Behind them, the bone crusher slowly began to move. Not toward them, but following the beacon's path. Limping, damaged, but moving toward safety. They're retreating, Amy confirmed. Good. Any sign of the other Krellian ships? Negative. They're long gone. Probably halfway back to Krellian space by now. Jack allowed himself a small smile. Then let's get out of this storm and deliver our medicine. The rest of the journey through the maelstrom was brutal but manageable. The Liberty's dawn emerged on the far side, battered but intact. Colony 7 was only a day away now. Damage report, Jack ordered. We look like we went through a blender, Carl reported. But all main systems are functional. Give me a few days and some spare parts and she'll be good as new. Crew injuries? Minor stuff, Dr. Chang said. Bruises, some fractures, lots of nausea. But everyone's alive and mobile. Jack stood and looked at his crew, his warriors disguised as merchants. Good work, everyone. I think we've sent a message today. What message is that? Amy asked. That human ships aren't easy prey. That we'll go places others won't. Fight in ways others can't imagine. And that we don't give up. He paused. Also that we can show mercy. That beacon will be talked about. The clan we spared will remember. You think it'll make a difference? Carl asked. Every story makes a difference. And this story? A single human cargo ship fought off 8 Krellian vessels, including a battlecruiser. That's a story that will spread. Amy was checking her sensors. Captain, I'm picking up a transmission. It's from the Bone Crusher. Audio only? Yes, put it through. Matriarch Kelash's voice was weak but clear. Human Captain, you spared my clan when you could have watched us die. Why? Jack keyed the comm. Because humans aren't monsters, Matriarch. We're just very... Colony 7 appeared on the view screen like a jewel against black velvet. The planet's blue oceans and green continents looked peaceful from space. But Jack knew that below, thousands of people waited desperately for the medicine in their cargo hold. Colony Control. This is Liberty's Dawn requesting approach vector, Amy transmitted. There was a pause. Then a shocked voice came back. Liberty's Dawn? You're alive? We detected the Krellian fleet. We thought... We're alive and we have your medicine, Jack said, taking the comm. Though we could use some repairs when we land. Of course. Transmitting approach vector now. And Captain Morrison, welcome. Welcome home. The Liberty's Dawn began its descent. The ship's battered hull glowed as it entered the atmosphere. Inside, the crew prepared for landing. Dr. Chang was in the medical bay, making sure the medicine had survived their violent journey. Every vial was intact, protected by the ship's heavy shielding. Carl was in engineering, coaxing the damaged engines through one more task. His team worked with the smooth efficiency of veterans. On the bridge, Amy guided them down with the same precision she'd shown in battle. Her hands were steady, her voice calm. As they descended, Jack noticed something odd on the sensors. Amy, are those ships in orbit? She checked. Yes, Captain. 3 vessels. They're human. Military scouts from the look of them. Hail them. The screen shifted to show a young naval officer. His eyes widened when he saw Jack. Captain Morrison. Sir, I'm Lieutenant Brooks, Earth Defense Fleet. We're here as escort for any ships traveling to Colony 7. Escort? Since when does the fleet escort cargo ships? Brooks looked uncomfortable. Since about 6 hours ago, sir. We received a priority message from Krellian space. From Matriarch Kalash herself. She told us what happened. How a single cargo ship fought off 8 attackers. He paused. Command didn't believe it at first. Then we got confirmation from the 2 Krellian ships that fled. They were terrified, sir. Said the Liberty's Dawn turned into something else. Something that wouldn't stop coming. Jack kept his expression neutral. We defended ourselves. You did more than that, sir. You've changed things. The Krellians are pulling back from human shipping lanes. Other pirate groups are asking questions. They want to know if all human cargo ships are like yours. And what is Command telling them? Brooks smiled. That they should assume every human ship has teeth until proven otherwise. Sir, I've been authorized to tell you that Earth Command wants to speak with you. After you deliver the medicine, of course. Thank you, Lieutenant. The connection ended. Amy looked at Jack. Earth Command? That's not usual for a cargo captain. No, Jack agreed. It's not. The Liberty's Dawn touched down on Colony 7's main landing pad. Before the engines had even cooled, medical teams were rushing toward them. The cargo bay opened and the precious medicine was quickly unloaded. The colony administrator, a woman named Helen Park, met them at the cargo ramp. She had tears in her eyes. Captain Morrison, you have no idea what this means. The disease has already taken 50 lives. Without this medicine, we'd have lost thousands. Just doing our job, Jack said. No, Helen shook her head. You did much more. We monitored what we could of your battle. A cargo ship fighting off a Krellian fleet? It's already becoming legend. Over the next few hours, the medicine was distributed. Dr. Chang went with the medical teams to help. She knew exactly how to prepare and administer the doses. Carl and his team started repairs with help from the colony's engineers. They were amazed at the battle damage and the creative modifications. Amy handled the reports and communications. Messages were flooding in from across human space. News of their battle had spread faster than light. Jack found himself in the colony administrator's office, accepting a cup of real coffee. Earth coffee, not the synthetic stuff. So, Helen said, sitting across from him, want to tell me who you really are? Jack sipped his coffee. What makes you think I'm anyone special? Because I've seen combat footage, Captain. I've seen how military crews fight, and that's exactly how your people performed. Jack was quiet for a moment. Then he set down his cup. 10 years ago, I was Commander Morrison, Earth Defense Fleet. I had a good career, a good crew. Then pirates hit a transport carrying my wife and daughter. Helen's face softened. I'm sorry. The fleet caught the pirates eventually, but I realized something. We were always reacting, always arriving too late. So I resigned. Bought an old cargo ship, started hiring very specific people. Your crew, they're all ex-military or special services. Each one lost someone to pirates. Each one wanted to make a difference without the restrictions of military service. So you became bait. Jack smiled. We became hunters dressed as prey. The Liberty's Dawn has been in 17 pirate encounters over 5 years. We've won them all. 17? But we've never heard, because we were careful. Made it look like luck or mechanical failures on the pirate ships. Kept our secret. Until today. What changed? The Krellians brought a battle cruiser. We couldn't hide anymore. Had to use everything we had. Helen leaned back. And now the whole galaxy knows. Yes, which means things will change. Pirates will be more careful around human ships. That alone will save lives. There was a knock at the door. Amy entered. Captain, that call from Earth Command? They're getting insistent, Jack sighed. I suppose I should talk to them. Helen, thank you for the coffee. He returned to the Liberty's Dawn's communication room. The quantum communicator connected instantly despite the vast distance. The face that appeared on screen was familiar. Hello, Jack, Admiral Susan Martinez said. She had been his commanding officer a decade ago. Admiral, I was wondering when you'd call. You've caused quite a stir. The footage from the Krellian ships is impressive. Taking on a battle cruiser with a converted cargo hauler? That's either brave or insane. Both, probably. Jack, I know why you left. I understood then and I understand now. But things are changing. The Senate is finally approving the Merchant Guard initiative. Jack raised an eyebrow. Armed merchant ships? Better. Merchant ships with hidden military capabilities and trained crews. Like yours, but official, legal, supported. And you want me to run it? Who else? You've proven it works. The Liberty's Dawn just became the most famous human ship in space. Pirates will think twice now. Jack was quiet, thinking. My crew? Would be the founding members. Full pardons for any technically illegal modifications they've made. Commissions for those who want them. I need to talk to them. Of course. Jack, what you did today, it's already making a difference. 3 pirate attacks were called off when the raiders learned their targets were human ships. They're afraid. Good. They should be. After the call ended, Jack gathered his crew. They met in the Liberty's Dawn small mess hall, the same room where they'd shared so many meals pretending to be simple cargo haulers. So, Carl said, we're famous now. Seems that way, Jack replied. He explained the Admiral's offer. Amy spoke first. Would we still fly the Liberty's Dawn? Yes, but with official support. Better weapons, better shields, and the backing of Earth's government. And we'd keep hunting pirates? Carl asked. That would be the job. Train other crews too. Build a fleet of ships that look harmless but aren't. Dr. Chang set down her tea. I've been running from my past for 5 years. Maybe it's time to stop running and start using those skills for something good again. I'm in, Amy said simply, though I want to keep our mining laser. It's proved useful, Carl laughed. Hell yes, I'm in. Peterson's got a lot more tricks to teach these pirates. Jack looked around the table at his crew.
His family, really.
They'd been through so much together. Then we accept. But on our terms. We fly free, choose our routes, pick our battles. Agreed, everyone said. The next morning, as the Liberty's Dawn prepared to depart Colony 7, a crowd gathered. Word had spread about who had saved them. Children held toy spaceships. Adults saluted. Helen Park stood with the colony's leaders. Captain Morrison, before you go, Colony 7 has something for you. She presented a small plaque. It read, To the Liberty's Dawn and her crew, heroes of Colony 7, protectors of the innocent. We'll mount it on the bridge, Jack promised. As they lifted off, Amy checked their communications. Captain, we're getting messages from merchant ships all over human space. They want to know our secret. Tell them the truth. We're not special. We're just humans who got tired of being victims, and we decided to do something about it. Carl called from engineering. Captain, where to? Jack looked at the star chart. There were so many colonies, so many ships that needed protecting. Set course for the Titan mining station. They've been having pirate problems. The Scorpion Syndicate operates there, Amy warned. They're worse than the Krellians, Jack smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Good, let's introduce ourselves. The Liberty's Dawn jumped to hyperspace, leaving Colony 7 behind. In her wake, she left more than just grateful colonists. She left a legend. A story that would spread through bars and space stations across the galaxy. The story of a simple cargo ship that refused to be simple prey. The story of humans who turned from hunted to hunters. The story that would make pirates check their sensors twice when they saw a human vessel, because now they knew the truth. Any human ship could be another Liberty's Dawn. Any cargo hauler could have teeth, and in the D,